The paradox is, as soon as you let go of something and tune into the moment, then this idea pops up. Basically, this video is for all you overthinkers, because you're afraid that you will not be accepted for what you have to deliver in this particular moment. Screw me, screw your parents, screw your partner. The concept of love, try to explain it. The concept of successfulness, what is successfulness to you? So, welcome to my studio / office or creative place. It's the place in which I come to meditate and where I create music, where I created this entire course, and where I started journaling, writing. It's my sacred safe space. And I invited you to come here, especially if you want to tune into the logic behind not listening to logic, if that makes any sense. I'll get to it. But the reason why I made this specific video is because I realized that a lot of souls out there watching this content will be much like me. And I am a type of person, a type of soul that truly wants to dive and dig deep into whatever matter I'm embracing. In other words, I want to know and fully embrace and understand every single compartment of whatever it is I'm trying to embody. I want to know everything. I want to understand everything. And when I was younger and I went to school, especially for the subjects that really interested me, I would, read the book, I would make the assignments, I would ask the teacher, and I would go on the internet and maybe to the library or to the school media supplies and then do my investigation and want to learn more and more and more. And that's the same reason why my closet is filled with books. When I was following the study to become a teacher of geography, there was this teacher of mine and he spoke of a field of knowledge. And he said to me that basically the field of knowledge is, let's say, this field of consciousness or knowledge or awareness is your field. When this is your field, the field around it becomes even more bigger, because the more you learn, let's say, maybe I can grab another color. That's the beautiful part of working in my office, is I should have things within reach. So let's say this is your new field of knowledge. Then what you notice is that the field around that awareness is even becoming bigger. So you realize the more I know, the less I know, This is a paradox, because now let's say I've gained all this knowledge and I will gain even more knowledge. Then I realize that the field around that field of knowledge, of knowing, is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. And therefore, you will never know enough. It will, in other words, never satisfy your inner wantingness of learning and wisdom. So the solution to this is not to keep expanding and going outwards, but it's descending. So going inwards. So instead of going outwards, what we're going to do now is go inwards. And this is a contradiction in the law of one of the 7 hermetic laws, which is the law of polarity, and also the law of correspondence, which means if I do not go within, I go without. As above, so below. As within, so without. And what this basically means also is, if we go to this beautiful symbol something like this. Without darkness, there couldn't be light, and without harshness, it can't be life. Shadows are created by light, ends arise along with life. This is a line I wrote maybe some years ago. I don't even know how old I was when I wrote that, but this inspiration came to mind when I was thinking about balance. And me as a Libra, my entire life has been about finding balance in between all aspects of life. And the beautiful part is I've come to realize that as soon as I'm trying to embody the one, I'm dissolving the other. But paradoxically, I have to say, in contrary, is, for example, I wanted to gain muscle because I was working out in the gym and I tried to become bigger. Now, what this does is, by saying I want to become bigger or I want to weigh more, I'm saying I'm not big enough. So this focusing on a goal brought into my life the energy of lack. Same goes when I stated I wanted to become a millionaire. Is saying that I'm still not a millionaire. So I lack money, I lack abundance. So what is the trick to this particular space? Or when it comes to coming to your soul, is I want to learn as much as I can. Is saying I do not know enough. Or starting your business, I want to know as much as I can about this particular service or product I'm about to bring into the world, and therefore I'm stating I do not know enough, and therefore I feel insecure. And this will come to life in either saying that you're not asking enough money back for what you're delivering, so you're undervaluing your price, or you don't show up at all because you're afraid that you will not be accepted for what you have to deliver in this particular moment, and you still have to grow until you're ready enough to, and so on and so forth. Instead of only focusing on the wantingness, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to look at being, and not only doing but being. This was quite a long introduction, but basically this video is for all you overthinkers, just like me. And overthinking is not good, it's not bad either, but it's a state of mind in which you were programmed or trained to do things in a certain way, and now you come to ask, is this way of being still serving me? With that said, this video will definitely help you in releasing this paradox of continuously wanting to gain more and accepting where you are and going with that what you have. In the Netherlands we say, row with the paddles that you have. I don't know why they say that. Basically, you have to work with what you got, all right? Bear with me on this one, all right? Let's talk about our mind. Our subconscious mind runs the game for 99.9%, and some say 90%. But let's say that for 90%, our entire life and our behavioral patterns are made up by what we subconsciously believe to be true. So you might think in your conscious mind that you are able to do X, Y, Z because logically you've seen other people do it, or you know you could do it, or you know you really want to. You have a plan and you've written this consciously by making step 1 to step 2 to step 20 somewhere, and now you know you're ready to do X, Y, Z. But then you go out there, and unfortunately the outer world is not representing your inner world, because you've set out many goals to come to fruition, but unfortunately it's not working out because it didn't go according to plan, or you ran out of resources, ran out of time, ran out of energy, whatever it is that made you block in your creation. And this is because of your mind. And that's why so many coaches out there call out for you to reprogram your mind and talk about the subconscious mind and want to program the belief system for you to gain the success you're looking for. And you have to understand, the way you think is not your fault. It's not your entire choice, let's say. And the thing is, it is your responsibility how to think and feel about certain things. That's your responsibility. It's your choice as well. But for example, when I was young, my mother, she always told me, show the world, show this white world in the Netherlands where you live, that a black person can learn. Because that's what her grandmother told her. And therefore I truly believed, I felt that I have to show the world that I can learn. So I went to school, became a teacher, and so on. This entire journey was trying to prove that I can learn. Every single soul that I met taught me, either by telling me or showing me, that working hard is the way to survive in this world. Studying is the way to grow your life into the way that you can live it up to your wishes within this particular route of going to school and going to education after that. That was what I've learned, and therefore that was my belief system, and therefore that became my entire life until this day, until the day that I decided that I believe something else as well. I believe that you don't only have to go to school to be successful, because look at Bill Gates, look at Steve Jobs, look at Michael Jackson. And I'm not saying that school is bad. I'm saying it's just one route, one way up to a destination that's up to you. The choice is yours. So I'm not saying that the route you're walking right now is wrong. It's just I want you to be conscious about the fact that what you feel is your choice doesn't always necessarily have to be your choice at all. Because our mind is being programmed by our parents and by our grandparents, our friends, our neighbors, the neighborhood you're living in, school, the news, social media is playing a big part these days. And there are so many incentives out there creating your inner mind, your belief system, because you believe particular patterns about the world, and that make up how you go out there. And there's also the thing which is called what's it called? Time out. I will look it up. All right. So this is called RAS, R-A-S, or Reticular Activation System. And you can look it up for yourself. But RAS, this is the Reticular Activation System. What this basically does is your nervous system is programmed to activate the parts in which you believe subconsciously what is important to you. and it filters out all the other information. Another way to look at this is that the conscious mind can work through information and data from, like, what was it, 200 parts to maybe a few hundred parts, and the subconscious mind is able to digest millions to billions parts of information, which is crazy. And think about this. Your subconscious mind is working all the way through your entire life without you even noticing it. It's filtering out. Now when you're looking at this video, I'm sure there must be some environmental noise in your situation which you are filtering out because you want to focus on this video. Whether it's somebody walking by, or maybe the neighbors making noise, or a car crossing by. You hear the television of your sister who's watching that on the background, or your girlfriend. Doesn't really matter. There's so much information going while you're not aware of it consciously, but subconsciously you are. So what I'm saying is your subconscious mind is way more powerful than your conscious mind, and our Western world is built around the conscious mind, because we have to learn XYZ, which is using the conscious mind. We have to apply XYZ, which is using the conscious mind. We have to integrate, and so forth and so on. The entire school system, the way we are programmed, is using the conscious mind. So, going back to learning, this is also called, I got it here on my phone anyways, as we said, the Reticular Activating System. It can also be called a self-fulfilling prophecy. It could also be called a cognitive bias. And the meaning is all the same. The law of assumption, whatever you want to call it, the meaning of this principle is all the same. Which is, you have a belief system within your mind, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And this belief system will make up your outer world. One example, if I believe that there's so many yellow cars out there, and if I focus on this yellow car, I will notice so many yellow cars. While if my consciousness is not aware of the yellow car and is not focused on the yellow car, I will never notice. So if I focus on negative people who are assholes and they want to fuck up your energy, the world is filled with these egoic, selfish people. And I truly believe that. Then what I think of is what I see. If I see that this world is beautiful and filled with opportunities to create $1,000 or $1 million, it's easy, so fucking easy. It's just out there. It's just for me to wait to seize the moment. Then that is your reality. The hard part is that a yellow car is easier to see than to attract $1 million, because the process is different. But in fact, it's not easier at all. It's just your mind. So if we really want to change, we must go deeper than logic. You must go deeper. And how to go deeper is by going away from the way that we're using now, because now I'm teaching you in a way that you're listening, and it's a very traditional way. You listen, I talk, you write, and maybe you go back and listen again and make sure that you understand fully. And this is all making use of the beta brainwaves. And our brains, there's done many research about the brains. You can look it up for yourself. But our brains function on different wavelengths. And these wavelengths can be measured. And the first time that they measured the brainwaves was when somebody was in a meditative state. And therefore, that was the first they measured, and they call this the alpha state of mind. And the alpha state of mind is particularly come through when somebody meditates or is in a daydream state of mind, which means they're not fully conscious, aware of a conversation. They're just hearing it, absorbing it. And then there's the theta state of mind, which is more of a dream state, a deep sleep state. And they've noticed in various investigations that the way of receiving information works the best for our brains when they are in the subconscious state of mind, which is the alpha state of mind. And how we do that is we slow down our brainwaves by meditating. And meditation is in Eastern cultures quite regular. It's quite normal. And in the Western culture, we are not used anymore, most of the times, to sit in stillness with our own thoughts, because we have to use our phone to watch TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, and whatever app you're using. Turn on the TV, watch Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, or whatever channel or whatever program. You see the word here, we're being programmed to see certain things. We're being channeled into a state of awareness of a particular program. We're not used to sitting in stillness with ourselves anymore. And the challenge for you, I challenge you to do that. And that's the reason why I incorporated the meditations within this course, because I want you to know that if you allow yourself to sit in stillness or to slow down your brain waves, there are multiple ways to do that. You can look up frequencies on YouTube for abundance or for the pineal gland, which is our third eye, to activate that. You can find all these types of meditation for yourself. You can sit in silence, you can sit by the river, out in nature, whatever place allows you to come back within. You want to find the inspiration in your subconscious mind, and therefore I invite you to meditate. It's literally not only woo-woo, it's neurological, scientifically proven to work. And a beautiful example of this, there are many, but to start with one, is that Einstein, in order to come up with his relativity theory, which is one of the most important researches which has been done in the entire world when it comes to quantum realm, the space-time relativity theory, in which he stated that time is an illusion. He came up with this idea by playing the violin. And making music is a way of coming into a meditative state of mind. It's not only sitting in silence and holding your hands up like this and sitting with your legs in this position. No, the meditative state of mind is also gained when you're doing the dishes and you're zoning out. You're getting into the zone. When you're making music, when you're on the bicycle, it doesn't really matter what works for you to clear the mind. What you're basically doing is you're getting out of your mind, but to clear the clutter in your mind. So making music is a very powerful way of coming back to source, to come into inspiration, in Spirit Nation. That's how I also call it. The realm in which we cannot see, because what is spirituality is that what we cannot see with or sense with our five senses, but it's out there. And when you feel inspired, then suddenly this idea pops up in your mind because you opened your awareness to it. And the funny thing, which is the paradox, is as soon as you let go of something and tune into the moment, then this idea pops up. But if you focused too much on this breakthrough you want to have, this idea, this $1 million idea, which will turn your business into $1 million, the more you focus on that, the more you will see that you don't have it. And this is what I said in the beginning of this video. It's the law of polarity. If you focus too much on one thing, you will ultimately get the other result. So how can you find that goal in an oblique way? So not in a direct way, but by moving to it in another way. For example, when I come back to gaining muscle, in my case, or gaining weight, is if I focus too much on I want to focus weight, I can go back to why. Why do I want to focus on gaining weight? Is because I want to be strong. And then I go even deeper. Why do I want to become strong? Because I want to be a strong partner for my wife, and I want to be a strong daddy to my children. Why do I want to be that? Well, because I love them, and I truly feel that that is what they deserve to be provided with in this life. Why? It's because I feel that taking care of my family and taking care of my loved ones is a privilege in this experience of life. Why? Because I feel that in that way I feel closest to God. You see, it started up with I want to focus on gaining weight. And you see that the reason why I want to do that is entirely different. So now, every single day, when I focus on the fact that I already embody all these types of changes, for example, I already see that I'm a loving father to my son and a loving partner to my girlfriend, to-be wife. I already notice that I feel healthy. I already notice. So the proof of me being the heavier version of me is already there, and therefore my belief system is attracting the reality. And I notice now that each and every week that I stand upon the scale, my weight is going up, even though I'm having one day in the week of fasting. So I fast one day in the week, or 36 hours actually, and you would think, well, if he eats less, my coach was like, don't really try this, because you can try it, but it won't help you to your goal in gaining weight. But it does. It does help me, because it works obliquely. And this funny way of reality approaching could be really helpful to you as well. One of the books I'm reading right now is the book which came out in the 90s. It's Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. And even if you're not religious at all, which I do not believe, because you're in this course Soul to Sail, how could you not be spiritual? But let's say you're not spiritual. Even then, this book could be of great value, because it gives you so many ways of reality creating that will help you consciously manifest what you want to attract in your life. But Conversations with God, this book made a divine difference for me, because we are used, you and I, or the regular people, the common people, are used to follow the following steps because of our programming. And let me see. Oh yeah, we do, then we have, and then we be. So, for example, we say, if you do your best at school, you will have a great job and you will be happy. If you do the workouts you want, you'll have muscles and you'll be confident. And so are many examples to made up by this. But we want to turn this around from being to doing to having. So what this does is the following. If I choose to be the heavier version of me, which weighs more and has more muscles, from that identity, if I say I am that type of person, I will behave in that way as well. I will do the push-ups, the meal preps, the planning, and doingness comes from beingness. And from the doingness comes the havingness. Because I did all this, I now have more muscles. I have more strength. I have gained more weight. So, the trick is, we are taught from a young age by our parents and by programming and school and all this that we said in the beginning of this lesson is, in order to gain something and be a certain state of mind, you have to do something and then you have it and so on. But the trick is turn that shit around. Be like water. This is what Bruce Lee said, I said it before, be fluid. Your state of beingness. Because if you become that which you desire, you will do. And then you'll have. But be careful with the state of faking it till you make it. I said it before, I don't like, personally, the state of fake it till you make it, because why I don't like it is because your mind is also very clever, of course. And I can say to myself now, I am a bodybuilder and I am Bruce Lee because I'm so fast and I can move at the speed of light and I can punch someone from 1 inch and make him fly into the sky. My mind will be, of course I cannot do that. That's not me. That's not Joshua, that's Bruce. So I will not believe it. And therefore I will not do it and I will not have it. So you have to be specific on the evidence you want to find in being something or being anyone. Okay? So start by being the version of yourself who trusts, aligns, and acts from soul. Truly start to embody that. Then you'll do what feels aligned, and eventually you'll have the life, the business, the impact that matches that vibration. Point 5 is what I want to talk about is you truly don't need to understand every single answer. You don't need to. For example, why does the sun come up every single day? Why? Well, we can do research and we can investigate that the Earth is spinning around its axis and that it's coming around the sun in 365 and a quarter of a day. Will it change the fact that the sun will come up and set? And no, it will not. Will it change your perception of the world? Maybe it does. Will it help your understandingness of being in this world? Maybe it does. Why are there so many poor people in the world and why are there so many rich people? We can make this up to an entire humongous research. Will it change your particular situation in this state of mind or state of being? Probably not. So unless you're making a living out of this and you're wanting to make a change and want to help people, if this resonates with your true desire, your soul urge, as I like to say, that what you are longing to do or longing to learn, then of course. But for now, let's say you want to make a business out of something, right? So what I want you to know is that trying to reconstruct every single construct in the world in order to understand things and think that you will become better in XYZ because of it is not particularly true. Is not always true. Realize you don't really have to know every single thing in the world. You don't. Because the truth is enough and it speaks for itself. And the truth doesn't always speak in language, in sentences. Sometimes it's a sensation. Let your body be the compass. Okay, another example for this is try to explain the concept of love.
What is love?
Try me. Explain what love is to you. It all depends on your experience. To me, love is my family. It's my child. But you maybe don't even have a child. You may don't even have a girlfriend. To me, love is that of my parents. Love is the licks and the kisses I get from my dog when I hug them. The concept of love, try to explain it. The concept of successfulness. What is successfulness to you? Try to explain. But it doesn't even matter what it is in words. It doesn't matter. You see? Because it's an experience. It doesn't matter. There's no pun intended, but it truly is. It does not matter. It's all up to you. So once again, if you're going through this course and you feel something within, it's an inner knowing, stick with that feeling and go away from the why. Well, why do I feel this way? Well, because you do. You just do. Go with it, stick with it, and let go of your controlling mind. You are here because you want to go inward to your heart's core, to your soul. So, honor your mind, but let your soul lead the way. Okay, so we're programmed to let our minds do the thinking and guide us through whatever we're going through in life. But this time you're doing it differently, and therefore, because you're doing it differently, not by starting with doing, but by starting with having, you will attract another reality that you didn't even think with your conscious awareness was possible. Because the first person who needs to believe in you and your offer is you. Screw me, screw your parents, screw your partner, screw... Not literally. In terms of coming to you and your idea, your inspiration, you have to start with you and your soul solidly. I have experienced this in many ways. I'm not saying that sharing your passion with others is not a good thing to do. It is. You should. But before you truly feel that you are confident with why you're doing something, the why within is not clear to you, then you should not share it with other people, because other people will burn your idea to the ground with their experiences and their maybe limiting belief systems when it comes to your product. I've experienced it so many times when I created the song, and I really felt the song. The beat was going through my entire body and it was pumping through my heart, and I felt it. Oh man. And I knew the potential of the song. But as soon as I let someone hear it, and maybe, fuck it, maybe they even had a bad day, you know, and here they were with their bad energy listening to my song, and we're like, meh. And there it went. My confidence went from this to all the way down there. And I felt worthless. And I thought to myself, well, fuck it. Fuck this song. I will make another song. Maybe. And you don't even know what the probability or the possibility of the song was, because you didn't even finish it. And you don't even know what your product now, your service, what it is. Stick with it for yourself and your soul until you feel certain enough to share it into the world and say, hey, I'm going to do this because I truly believe that this will help the world. And you're not going to share it out of confirmation of the world out there by saying, do you like it as well? Do you think this is a good idea? No, you feel that this is a great idea and you will make it work. You don't need others' confirmation. Unless you're looking for investors, but even then, even then, you're sticking with your own idea. George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, he was declared for insane by so many film producers, saying nobody wants to look at people playing with us with this flashlight and fighting each other. Nobody wants to know about the Force. Look how freaking big Star Wars has become. It has been bought by Disney. It's going worldwide. Peter Jackson with The Lord of the Rings. People said nobody wants to look at orcs and all these crazy little elves and beings. Look how big it became. You know, you don't know what you're missing out on if you quit. It's the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is one of the most recommended books in entrepreneurship. The story is always the same. If someone has an inspiration and aspiration, and only the ones who stick with it and follow through are the ones who gain the success they're looking for. So once again, this invitation, this video, if you're still watching, it really grounds you in starting with yourself. Okay, cut. What we're going to do, you and me, is we're going to place our hand on our chest, whatever feels right to you, whether it's your right hand or your left hand, and you place it on your chest. I'm going to place my right hand. Then, whatever you feel works for you, you can look me in the eye or you can close your eyes. And what we're going to do is take a deep breath into our nose. And we're going to hold it for a second and feel the energy within our chest, as you will feel a compressed energy within your chest. Now we're going to release it by slowly breathing it out through our mouth. Once again in, hold it for a moment, and release it through your mouth. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to breathe, but not only with our nose and our mouth, but we're going to use our body. We're going to use our hands. Follow me with this. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Once again. And I can breathe as well by going sideways. We're going in, as we did, once again through the nose. And this is used in martial arts. This way is breathing by being and movement. And you become the air, you become the space, and therefore you become formless. And why I'm inviting you to do this is when you become formless, when you clear the canvas, when you empty your mind, when you start from zero and you're going to start from nowhere, you can create anything that you want, any offer. And therefore I say, liberate your mind, truly, become the best version of yourself. I thank you for watching this video, and I genuinely, truly invite you to read the questions and in this course, and not think of I have to do as much as possible, because this is an old belief pattern. Even when you see the questions and you think, it can't be this easy, right? How can it be only 10 questions? It should be, there should be a catch. It has to be more difficult than this. No, it's not. It's only your mind which is blocking the way into abundance. So, once again, liberate your mind. Good luck with everything you're doing and become the best version of yourself. Much love.
All right, guys, so I have this last message for you before I'm packing my bags and going on my holiday, because I look well and decent clothed, but I'm already in holiday mode. I'm wearing shorts. I'm not wearing any shoes. I'm bare feet because me, my girlfriend, my son, and 3 dogs are going on a holiday, and I'm preparing. So before we leave, I do want to have set the following message, which is about the course Soul to Seal. I have made a video about what this course is about. You can check it, and it will be in the link in the description. Summarized, basically, this course is a 5-day journey in which we are going to remember what it is that is residing in our soul with guided lessons, guided meditations, and guided questions for you. Actually tune into the inner knowing from yourself, what it is that you are talented about and passionate about and want to share in the world, because I feel that everyone has this superpower. And because of the way that we're programmed, we forgot what it is that we are able to do. And just like all the heroes in the movies, they don't really know how to control their powers. So they stumble and tumble and fall, and some of them give up. But if you keep going and moving forward with a little bit of guidance, I believe you can move mountains. So Soul to Seal is available. You can check the link in the description if you're interested. But I want to note as well that paying methods for MasterCard and PayPal are supported by this app called Kajabi, in which the lessons will be provided. But this is an American app, and it still is not providing the support for European paying methods like Ideal. Now, if you're from Europe, I know there is a solution to this, and I'm working on this, but in my investigation about this, I found that it will take some hours, maybe some days, for me to fix that issue, or challenge, as I like to say. And if you don't want to wait before I come back on my holiday and fix it, what you can do to act upon your passion right now is send comment or in this video, or find me on Instagram, send me a DM. Please be noted that I'm on a holiday and I'm doing my best to answer as soon as possible. But if you feel, well, this course is just for me and I want to start right now, then don't wait, send me a message. And to be clear about this, if you are not able to use PayPal or MasterCard, then we can find another way, and I will send you a paying link or something like that, or it will all work out. So later on, we can use Ideal. For now, I am going to pack my bags, and I want to wish you all the best and all love. And if you want to tune into a meditation and you don't want to invest in the course, what you could do as well is follow the meditation about tuning into abundance. This is also on my channel. The link will be in the description of this video as well. With all this being said, much love, much passion, and lots of power as well. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.